Special guest for that is Maestro Fresh West. Brad Payton is on a cavalcade of Canadiana. And also Don Tapscott, all the things we like to bring you to. And the reason I mentioned the Canadian thing is that's what I think we do really well at CBC, because the other broadcasters aren't doing it. But, oh, I said it. And I mean it. But today's a significant anniversary in Canadian history. And this ties into the Alan Thicke thing in a couple of ways. Alan is here, of course, for Canada Reads. He's repping a Ken Dryden book, which is called The Game, which is about hockey and culture, all that stuff. Today is the anniversary of the first ever radio broadcast of a hockey game. And I think we all remember where we were on February the 8th, 1923. Toronto Star reporter Norm Albert described the third period of a game between Midland and North Toronto. And as we all know, Midland smoked them. Actually, North Toronto won 16-4. And these sportscasters create these great moments that live with us for decades. For decades. When Cosell's and Fraser, down, play part of this. Down goes Fraser. Oh.
I think Joe is hurt. Angie Dundee, Ali's trainer, right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Fraser. Down goes Fraser. Down goes Fraser.
Cosell alongside Dundee. Ali's trainer. Dundee, by the way, just passed away, the great Angelo. There's an interview with him on Strombo.com. That's one of the great calls. There have been many others. A lot of them are homegrown. Take it away.
Those of you who watched the 1993 World Series on television probably remember Joe Carter's historic series-winning home run. But on radio, it was Tom Cheek, the longtime Jays broadcaster, who found the perfect words for that perfect moment.
Touch 'em all, Joe! You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life!
A memorable call from a memorable broadcaster. Next stop, Cooperstown. Make it happen, Canada.
It was Game 6, the 1993 NBA Championship Series, a legend in the making. The league's most recognizable voice, Marv Albert, was calling the game.
There's passion for three! Yes! The Bulls take a 1-point lead!
Now that was a happy guy. With only 1 point separating the two teams, history.
Here's Johnson. Johnson gets, no, he could not get it off. Knocked away by Grant, it's all over!
The Chicago Bulls would become the first team to ever three-peat the NBA championship.
Fans of the Cleveland Indians know it hasn't always been easy. The curse of Rocky Colavito, a 30-year slump, season after season of rebuilding. But one voice has always remained constant, in the belief that the Great Fall Classic will one day include the Tribe. Or not.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Sure, it's just a movie, but hey, great call.
In 2010, Canadians had the highest of hopes for their Olympic men's hockey team. It had won gold just once in 58 years, and this time the championship game itself was being played in Canada. Still, nobody could have predicted the tremendous fairy tale ending.
Again, let's Sidney Crosby, the golden goal, and Canada has once in a lifetime Olympic gold.
Veteran CFL and NHL sportscaster Chris Cuthbert reacted along with the rest of us in this country, proving that the greatest moments cannot be scripted.
1996 Olympic Games, Atlanta. The late great Don Whitman provides the voice of the two most electrifying moments in Canadian history. And in a stroke of genius, he ties the two together. First, Donovan Bailey sets a new world record in the 100 meters.
And here comes Bailey, he's got it! 9.84, a world record for Donovan Bailey and a gold medal!
1 week later, Bailey was back on track with the men's relay team. And Whitman articulates the feelings of the nation.
By 1972, Foster Hewitt already had a remarkable career. I mean, this guy was the voice of Hockey Night in Canada for 40 years, dating back to its origins in radio. In 1972, Hewitt came out of retirement to call the Canada-Russia Summit Series and provided what might be the most iconic call in Canadian sports history.
Henderson made a wild stab force spell. Here's another shot, right by the score!
Now, if only Ken Dryden and Yvonne Cornway came back out of retirement to play for your Montreal Canadiens, then, George, your team might actually have a chance.
Really funny. I love how Donovan Bailey just completely, and then Donovan Bailey. He's so awesome. He's so great. Great to see some old friends in that one. So that obviously that Summit Series for a whole generation of Canadians, that was the biggest one, 72. Who were the two guys in net for Canada throughout that whole team, huh? Espo and Ken Dryden, right? Ken Dryden wrote one of the most famous books in hockey history called The Game. The advocate for this in Canada reads is the great Alan Thicke. Holy smokes.